Hello and welcome to iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. This is deck building in Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft. I'm going to help you build a deck from the ground up, specifically for the Warlock, and we're going to focus on dealing maximum spell damage. And how do we do that? First and foremost, we get the most important card in the game, the Stone Tusk Boar. No deck is complete without one of those puppies. Well, it's a boar, it's not a puppy, but you get my point. Now, after you select the Stone Tusk Boar, we're going to head over to the class-specific cards for the Warlock, and we're going to take a bunch of cards that deal spell damage. And when I say a bunch of cards, I mean all the cards. As many of them as you have. If it says deal spell damage to a player, or to a minion, or whatever, take it and put it in the deck. I'm so serious. All of it. Almost forgot about that one, it was a little sneaky. Now, after you've selected all of your spell damage cards, we're going to head over to the neutral cards. And what we're looking for here are cards that enhance your spell damage. So you type in spell damage at the bottom, take as many as you have, the more the better. Cards that increase your spell damage will give you more damage from your spell damage cards. That is called synergy, and synergy is a good thing. So, after you're done putting the spell damage cards in, you probably have a couple of empty spaces left. There are some options here. You can either shore up your defenses with some taunting minions, or you can find some minions that deal damage when they're summoned. The choice at this point is up to you, because we have our core, we've got our spell damage cards, and we've got our cards that enhance spell damage. Now, let's talk about how you would use a deck like this in some actual games. First things first, the most important rule for this and every deck, play the Stone Tusk Boar immediately. Don't think about it, just play it. No matter what the situation is, the Stone Tusk Boar is valuable. It gets work done. But seriously, the goal of this deck is to use your spells in reaction to what your opponent is doing. My opponent in this match was playing a lot of minions. What does that mean for me? It means I want to try and take out as many cards at the same time with a single spell, and I have options to do that. I have Hellfire. Boom, just wiping the floor, cleaning up the board. In addition to being reactionary, to have success with this deck, you need to find ways to optimize your damage. In this match, I was twiddled down to 2 health, but I managed to deal 15 damage in a single turn because I was good at math in high school. So, damaging spells that are usually mediocre become really devastating if you pair them with the spell damage enhancing minions that we put in the deck. It just works out. Like all things in life, though, this deck isn't perfect. If your opponent is playing a lot of minions of his own and destroying yours, then you're going to find yourself in a situation like this. They're going to have a lot of stuff on the board, and you're not going to be able to deal with it in any sort of practical way. You can try, but it won't work. Sometimes it just won't work. Okay, that was kind of sad, so let's end on a brighter note. If you've got minions on the field that increase your spell damage, you can wreak some serious havoc on the board. A card that originally dealt 3 or 4 damage will now deal 7 or 8 or whatever. It's crazy. The ability to deal massive damage in a single turn is what makes this deck so fun to use. And that's pretty much it. It's not very complicated. I hope you enjoyed it. This has been iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy, deck building in Hearthstone.